Humans have always been intimidated by the things that are out of their reach, so the masses have been manipulated by showing what they can never have. This trend has been boosted since the invention of social media. According to studies, 8 out of 10 teenagers are mostly influenced by someone, and in most cases it's a social media influencer. If I ask you what's the platform that most appropriate for showcasing your life, it's going to be YouTube for sure. But we don't know if what we are seeing is even real or not. Today I brought you a similar family that orchestrated a horrific YouTube channel. Its horribleness is going to leave you stunned for sure. Let's get started. Jennifer and Sarah Hart. This is the story of 2 mothers, Jennifer Hart and Sarah Hart, famous as the perfect couple, sharing the same age. They started dating in Northern State University during their college days. In 2004, the ladies moved to Minnesota, where they started working in retail stores. Lee's adoption and lifelong trauma. As soon as they moved to Minnesota, things started to get real bad. They took in their first foster child, a 15-year-old girl named Lee. But after a while, it started showing that they were having trouble with the kid. People saw Lee eating food out of trash cans and doing multiple odd things. So Jen and Sarah decided to get rid of the teenager. They took her to a therapist's appointment and never came back to pick her up. She wasn't even aware of it until the therapist told her. All of her stuff was already moved to the new foster home, and Lee was left with a lifelong trauma. 3 more kids in the house for further traumas. After this incident, the couple kept living life, but after a couple of years they decided to go for adopting kids again. This time they took in 3 siblings, 7-year-old Maracus, 4-year-old Hannah, and 2-year-old Abigail. Jen became very active on social media during this period, posting on Facebook where everyone could see that the couple was living happily. On the first night of adopting the siblings, Jen posted on Facebook, "Abigail urinated everywhere and gashed her chin falling down the stairs. Hannah smeared feces on the wall and gorged herself with food, resulting in episodes of projectile vomiting. Marcus," she said, "struck his head against a wall and claimed to be possessed by demons." She ended her post with the line, "If not us, who?" It shows how terrible parenting those children were having. Online facade. You must be wondering what kind of mother posts such personal details about her kids on the internet, but all of it makes sense once you get to know her motives. She wanted to make sure that all of her friends and family on Facebook were aware that they were the saviors of those miserable kids, because all she wanted was fame and sympathy. They posted lots of pictures of them expressing their lives, and they seem to be the most wholesome family on the internet. Doesn't it sound familiar? All internet families seem to behave in a similar way. Validation through another adoption. It was so perfect that people envied their family. Sarah and Jen wanted more of that online validation, and hence they proceeded to adopt 3 more kids, Jeremiah, Devontae, and Sierra, and they were siblings as well. Hart Tribe, the tribe of fakeness. So now the Hart's family was referred to as the Hart Tribe on YouTube, and they had many admirers. Jen would post all sorts of wholesome content online about the kids. It looked like the kids were living their best life with the Harts. Anyway, the couple's seemingly happy disposition on social media was a facade that masked their mistreatment of the innocent kids. Hannah's bruises. In 2008, the initial signs of abuse in the family started showing. A teacher saw one of the kids, Hannah, with bruised arms and asked about it. When she told her that she was beaten by her mother with a belt, she examined the rest of her body and found various marks of serious abuse. It was immediately reported to the Child Protection Services. When Jen and Sarah were questioned about it, they said Hannah fell off the stairs and lied to her teacher. It's always the stairs. First thing they did was to withdraw kids from school. The kids were homeschooled for a while, and then they got admitted to a new school. Abigail's owies. In 2010, little Abigail told her teacher that she had owies. The teacher took her to another room and inquired why she had owies. It turns out the little girl stole a penny, for which Jen grabbed her by the neck and held her underwater. This was a big incident that got the police involved. The police interviewed all of the Hart kids separately. All of them admitted that they were beaten and denied food as punishment. Now, when the mothers were interrogated, Sarah took all the blame and got arrested for domestic abuse. Sarah was charged with 90 days in jail and a year of supervised probation. Oregon. As soon as she completed her sentence, the Hart family packed their stuff and moved to Oregon. The Hart's tribe made their name in Oregon by attending all sorts of events, like music festivals and different shows. They were known to be an ideal family, full of love and happiness. During all this time, Jennifer kept posting about their lives on YouTube and Facebook. Devontae's viral picture. During 2014, Devontae's famous picture went viral online, where he was seen hugging a white policeman during the protests against racism. So he became the star kid in the family. He was seen participating in many activist movements and tearfully hugging people on many occasions. Jennifer made sure to take full advantage of Devontae's emotional personality, and that's when their YouTube channel peaked. Hungry kids. But the reality behind the curtain was saying something else. The kids would ask their classmates for food. They were seen searching the trash for food, and they asked the school nurse for something to eat. When Sarah was confronted by the allegations of underfeeding the kids, she said, "Oh, they're just playing the food card again." The teachers ultimately stopped calling the police or the Child Protection Services because they realised that none of the evidence was substantial enough to have them taken from the Hart's mother's custody. It's time to move to the capital. Once again, they packed their stuff and moved to Washington State in 2017. At this point, the couple claimed that they were intentionally being picked on because of their homosexuality. The kids were once again homeschooled. Hannah. Later on in August 2017, Hannah jumped from her second-story window after midnight and ran to the neighbour's house asking for help. She was missing 2 of her front teeth and looked much younger than she was. She was crying, begging them to help her. Jennifer came looking for her and took her back, saying that everything was fine. The neighbours called the authorities and told them about the incident. They showed concern that the kids were in grave danger, so they had to do something. Once again, there was no proof. "Ma'am, we're hungry." A few months later, one of the kids, Devontae, started going to the same neighbours asking for food. He visited them frequently for meals and asked them not to tell his parents. He didn't ask for snack kind of food, but the real substantial food like bread, meat and fruits. This time they reported it to the CPS and a team came to visit the Hart's family. The investigators saw that there was an SUV parked in the garage, but when they knocked on the door, nobody answered, so they left a card at the door. But the next time the investigators visited the home, the family was gone. Car crash. Jennifer Hart had something really horrible planned for her family. She purposely drove the vehicle off the edge of a cliffside in California, hurling her family into the abyss. Sarah and Jennifer, as well as the 6 innocent children, were killed in the crash. Investigation. In the initial stages, this was treated as an accident, but further investigations revealed the horrifying truth. Sarah's deceased body had high levels of Benadryl in her blood, and Jennifer was fully drunk. The kids were also found to have some levels of Benadryl medication in their system. The computer system of the truck, when checked, was found stuck at 90 miles per hour, and there were no skidding marks on the road. It looked like the truck was intentionally accelerating toward the edge of the cliff. What was most disturbing for the investigators was Sarah's Google search history just minutes before their deaths. She'd searched, "Can 500 milligrams of Benadryl kill a 120-pound woman? Is death by drowning relatively painless? How long does it take to die from hypothermia while drowning in a car?" This definitely proved that it was, in fact, a murder-suicide. Devontae. The most horrible part of this tragic end is that they couldn't find Devontae's corpse, the star kid. Many of the theories suggest that the boy is somehow still alive, even though the state has officially declared him dead. It's said that as he was the reason behind the fame of the Hart's tribe, Jennifer and Sarah spared his life. There are also other theories saying that maybe he was the first to get murdered by the mothers and that they fled the place, dumped his body somewhere during the road trip and proceeded to commit murder-suicide. What do you think happened to Devontae? This story is a stark reminder of the darkness that can lie behind an apparently beautiful exterior. It's a call to action for all of us to be cautious, to speak out when we suspect abuse, and to ensure the safety and well-being of those who are unable to protect themselves.